Hello, this is me, Dr. Tanya Hashik. Today's topic of discussion is muscles and their classification. Muscles and their classification. So, muscle is one among the four primary tissues present in our body. So, which are the other three primary tissues? They are epithelial tissue, nervous tissue, and connective tissue. So, epithelial tissue is related to skin, nervous tissue related to the nervous system, and connective tissue, that is blood, lymph, etc. So, and the fourth one is the muscle tissue. So, it is one among the four primary tissues of the body. So, now we will classify muscles into three types. So, muscles are classified based on structure and function into three types, that is cardiac muscle, skeletal muscle, and smooth muscle. So, cardiac muscle is present in the heart. That is, cardiac muscle is related to heart. Skeletal muscle is present in the bones. That is, skeletal muscle is related to the skeletal system. And smooth muscle is related to visceral organs. That is, hollow organs. Smooth muscles are present in the inner wall of the hollow organs. Now we will discuss the general properties of the muscles. So these are properties that are common for all the three types of muscles. So the properties are excitability. Excitability means the plasma membrane of the muscles can change the electric state. That is, it can be polarized or depolarized. That is responsible for muscle contraction, relaxation, etc. So the second one is elasticity. Elasticity means it can retain its length when the muscle is relaxed. So extensibility means the muscles can be extended or stretched. And the fourth one is contractility. Contractility means the muscles can be contracted or it can be shortened by means of force. So the properties are excitability, that is, it can be polarized or depolarized. Elasticity, that is, it can retain its length. Extensibility, that is, it can be extended. And contractility means it can be shortened by means of force. So we have already discussed about the common properties of these muscles. So now we will discuss about the difference between these muscles. So the difference is due to the difference in the arrangement of the contractile protein, that is actin and myosin. So these are making the muscles different. So this is a skeletal muscle fiber. That is, this is a single muscle cell, and within this is the myofibrils. That is, there are so many myofibrils in each muscle cell, and this is a single myofibril, and within this is the sarcomere, that is the functional unit of a muscle cell, and in the sarcomere is the actin and myosin filament. They are arranged in a order, and the difference in arrangement of the actin and myosin filament within a muscle is making the muscles different. Now we will discuss about the properties of skeletal muscles. So skeletal muscles can contract and thus cause movement, and they produce movement and also stop certain movements. That is, they help in maintaining posture by resisting gravity, etc. That is, they produce movement and they also stop certain movements. Next is maintain stability. That is, they maintain the stability of the skeletal system. Next is protection. Protection means they protect major internal organs that is present in pelvic cavity, abdomen, etc. So now we will discuss about the structure of a muscle. So a muscle consists of three layers of connective tissue. So this is a muscle and it consists of three layers of connective tissue, and the outer layer is called as epimysium. That is, each muscle is covered on the outer side by a dense sheath of connective tissue called as epimysium. That is, this is the epimysium. So epimysium is a dense sheath of connective tissue that covers each muscle. So what is its property? It helps muscle to contract and move powerfully while maintaining its structure. That is, it helps muscle to contract and move powerfully while maintaining the structure of the muscle. So another property of epimysium is it also separates other tissues and organs in that area. That is, A muscle may be surrounded by other organs, tissues, etc. So epimysium separate other organs and tissues from muscles. So now we will discuss the muscle structure in detail. So we have already discussed that epimysium is a dense sheath of connective tissue that covers each muscle. So each muscle consists of bundles of fascicles. That is, these are bundles of fascicles. That is, each bundle contains so many fascicles. So this is a magnified view of a single bundle of fascicle. That is, these are all fascicles. So this is a single bundle of fascicle. Now we take a single fascicle. So this is a single fascicle. So a fascicle is covered by a connective tissue called as perimysium. So a fascicle contains so many bundles of muscle fibers. So a fascicle contains so many bundles of muscle fibers. So these are all muscle fibers bundle. So a fascicle is covered by a connective tissue called as perimysium. So this is a single bundle of muscle fiber. So we have already discussed that a fascicle contains so many bundles of muscle fibers. That is, these are all bundles of muscle fibers. So this is a single bundle of muscle fibers. That is, this contains so many muscle fibers. So this is a single muscle fiber. So each muscle fiber is covered by a connective tissue called as endomysium. So each muscle fiber is covered by a connective tissue called as endomysium. So now we will discuss about a muscle cell, and it is also called muscle fiber, and it got its name muscle fiber because of its elongated cylindrical structure, and it is bounded by a plasma membrane called as sarcolemma, and it has got so many nucleus, hence it is called multinucleated, and it has got mitochondria, and it has got so many myofibrils, that is 100 to thousands of myofibrils. These are the myofibrils, and this is a single myofibril, and within this is a sarcomere, that is a functional unit of a muscle cell. This is a sarcomere, that is the space between two Z line is called as sarcomere, and this is the functional unit of a muscle cell. And a muscle fiber can be of different length. It can vary up to 30 centimeter in length. That is, it is seen in sartorius muscle, that is the thigh muscle. So each cell has cytoplasm, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. So in muscle cell, cytoplasm is called sarcoplasm, and endoplasmic reticulum is called as sarcoplasmic reticulum, and sarcomere is the functional unit in a muscle. So in each myofibril there is so many sarcomere, and sarcomere is the functional unit of a muscle cell, and it is responsible for contraction of muscles. So now I will give you a short idea of what a sarcomere is. A sarcomere is a functional unit of a muscle cell. So it is the space between two Z lines. That is, the space between two Z lines is a single sarcomere, and the area where there is only actin filament is called as I-band. That is, actin filament is thin filament, and myosin filament is the thicker filament. That is, I have marked actin filament with red and myosin filament with black. That is, this black color is the myosin filament and it is thicker, and the red color is the actin filament, and these are arranged in a sequential pattern. And so the space between two Z lines is a single sarcomere, and it is responsible for the muscle contraction. You will learn this in detail in physiology classes. So this is the end of today's video. For more videos, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell button.